Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Two-Way Miss podcast. We appreciate you all listening or watching whenever and wherever you are. I am one of the hosts of your show, Mr. Chris Regensburg, and as always, I am joined by the good buddy Banksy. Banksy, how are you doing tonight, buddy? I know it's a little later than when we usually record, so hopefully you didn't have your sleepy time tea and you're hanging in there with me. But how you doing, bud?
I'm good, Regz. How the hell are you?
I'm doing good. Like you
Good.
said, like we were just talking about, there's been some beautiful days this week, so it's been fun sitting at baseball practice instead of like being cold and just sitting there. And
Bundled up.
yep. So that's been great. We've been outside with the boys. Cole's been playing well. He's batting 1,000 right now in his travel league.
Oh, snap. Man, you got to keep that kid's stats.
Yep. Went 6 for 6 over the weekend.
Wow. You have to teach him he'll start going left-handed just for fun.
So Connor is hitting lefty. He's hitting lefty and throwing righty just for no reason. He grabbed a
No
bat
kidding.
and that's what he did. That's what he does.
All right. You going to
But,
roll with that?
Oh yeah, I'm not changing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Aren't you just excited to see what their golf swings are going to look like after when they
So
get...
Cole's is terrible so far because it's just a baseball swing, just
It's
like just like at least me and my brothers were whenever we tried to play golf under the age of 16. Like that's just what our swing was, right? Because it's all you know. I got something in my hand and there's a ball, and this is how I swing it. So,
and I'm going to swing as hard
Yep.
as I possibly can.
his follow through is the same as like his baseball swing, like all of it. His back foot moves, like it's all over the place. So
That's great.
you're gonna come down one of these days and get him dialed in. That's what
One of these
what
days.
we're really gonna do.
Give me the invite.
Yep.
I'll be there.
But we're here to recap the Masters. Again, our favorite 4 days of the golfing calendar. Another good tournament. I think the last round was a little unspectacular after a certain amount of holes, but overall, I thought the tournament was still good. Again, it's literally the best viewing experience of a golf tournament that you could ever possibly hope for. I lived on Masters.com. I didn't turn on the actual broadcast until the leaders were on 14 on Sunday.
Wow.
Like every other day I was watching, because again, Saturday I spent 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on a baseball diamond. And again, they didn't play that much on Saturday, luckily. But everything else is either on my computer on Masters.com or on my phone with the app, like watching featured groups. Like I didn't turn on the actual broadcast till Sunday. But it's still fantastic. It's the best. You go back,
Absolutely.
you can watch every single shot of every single player. So if I wanted to like check in on how someone was doing that wasn't in a featured group, I could just go to that player and click through every hole and watch every single shot. It's just the best.
And they do a thing too. You can click on a player and watch literally watch their shots, right? You get their whole round in like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
They still do that?
Yep.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had a pretty eventful weekend. So I watched a lot on the app, but I did watch a lot of the broadcast because I had it all recorded.
Yeah.
And he always makes me nervous when there's all these rain delays, because then you gotta like look up when it's gonna come on.
Right.
And,
Right.
it looks like I'm recording 12 hours of
Yeah.
of news and infomercials, but really it's the playback of the tournament. So
That's funny.
I watched a lot of golf, and I really enjoyed myself, and it was pretty damn exciting for a while. And yeah, I mean, right off the bat, we're 2 for 2 in big tournaments here.
That's what I was just going to go into. We got to, before we get any further, we got to kind of give ourselves a pat on the back here, right?
Holy shit. We're turning over a new leaf here.
You grabbed you just had to like open the door. It's one of those things. You got to like, got to see the ball go through the hoop sometimes. So you got it started, and then I got lucky and picked Rahm, and he clawed his way back from Koepka and got it done. as we
How
all
about
kind
it?
of expected him eventually to do.
Yeah, he
Um,
just when he gets locked in, man, he's just an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
When he just starts hitting fairways
Yep.
and hitting shots, like he's just really good.
Yeah. And I really loved, I forget who brought it up, but someone brought up on one of the podcasts or one of the recaps I was listening to, the fact that since Tiger, nobody's had that like intimidation factor. And then Rahm talked about after the round, like how important it was for him to have the tee over Brooks for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I think he got it in like the fourth hole into the third round, which they were finishing up on Sunday. Like 4 holes into that round, or 4 holes into when they were playing together, he had the tee box. Like, he got the tee box back from Brooks, and how important that was to him. Like, to be like, I wanted to give him something to look at every single hole. That like, I'm just not going away. Like, I'm not up here nervous or scared, or I'm gonna step up and hit great shots, and you're gonna have to follow it up. And I thought it was like a great point, because like, he is really the only player that we hear talk about that, and who can go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just not a lot of guys who have the ability to do that anymore. Like, Tiger obviously could do it, but Rahm is like thinking about this stuff.
Yeah. And you love the honesty. Like, it's nice to hear him say that stuff.
Yeah.
Just to get in the psyche of these players, especially when they're on top of their game like he was. Like, I love that he shared that with everybody.
Yeah.
Like I'm not dicking around. I hope you are scared of me.
Yeah, right. And then against Brooks, who fancies himself like a tough guy, who really isn't, right? But fancies himself this cool tough guy.
Yeah.
And Rahm just like, nope, this is mine. Like, I am taking this from you, and you're never getting it back.
Yeah. And we can, just listen to Brooks bitch about slow play.
Right.
Like, dude,
which I guess he had a point, but
of course I know. Yeah, but it is what it is. It's been like that. It's been like that forever. Like, what it's going to be like in a major tournament. Like, it's not going to change, and you continuing to piss and moan about it. Like, dude, let it go. Like, I agree that it's an issue, but like, that's and I'm not a slow player at all. I love playing fast, but
right.
Find something else to talk about.
Yeah, I think we'll get to Brooks in a second, but just again, we always talk about how Rahm just doesn't have a weakness when he's playing like that.
Right.
Like, nothing lets him down. He's got the ability to be world class in every aspect of golf. Like, when he's playing like that.
And he just knows where his ball is going.
Yeah. Yeah. And has the ability to make, again, I think this is something that's come with time, but he's now able to make all the right decisions. I think a couple years ago, even, you'd see him make some pretty like dumb, like sort of decision errors. Like, I'm going to go for this off a terrible lie over a pond just because I think I can get it there.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think he spoke to about him and his caddy's like relationship, how it's sort of grown over the years, that he doesn't like, John doesn't argue as much as he did. If his caddy is really like, hey, like, that has too much risk for the moment we're in. Like, let's really think about it. Like, if John ultimately decides that it's what he's doing, the caddy's not going to say anything, right? The caddy's not there to argue. But it seems like John is sort of realizing that, like, okay, like, we can do that here. I understand the merit of that. I'm not sort of getting in this headspace where I have to pull off the hero shot every time. And that just makes him so dangerous. Like, it just makes him
something I'm completely unfamiliar with. But
Well, again, you're not. Nothing's on the
That's what
line.
it
When,
sounds
nothing's
like.
on the line when we're playing. You know,
yeah,
you're just out there to hit as many birdies as you can. John might have a little bit more on the line, but
more.
it again, he becomes unstoppable, and he just proved it again. Like, again, to have 2 majors is a big deal. I don't think this is the last one he will win. And the fact that he did it at Augusta now, like, there's nothing in my mind that tells me this guy's not going to have multiple green jackets.
Sure. And when he plays like that, it's like, well, how do you, I know we say it kind of with Scheffler too, when he's locked in and in the zone, but seeing Rahm play like that, how do you bet against him?
Yeah.
Moving forward, not necessarily, this week at the, in
Oh
Hilton
yeah,
Head,
he's
but,
gassed. Yeah.
when the next major rolls along, it's like,
Yeah.
how do you bet against him?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a good answer to that question.
Yeah, it was fun to see. I would have been okay with a little bit more push from Brooks, but he really kind of faded off into oblivion.
Yeah. I mean, look, there was absolutely a chance for that to be like an epic battle.
Oh, sure.
Down the stretch.
Yeah, and it just, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there saying, well, that's what you get for only playing 3 rounds. By the time you get to that 4th round, you're exhausted. Whether that was the case or not, I don't know. But good for John Rahm.
Yeah.
Did it in style. And you're 100% right. It's definitely not going to be his last. Yeah.
So, what do you want to get into next?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you made the correct pick. I did not. Where'd Roy finish again?
He missed the cut.
Oh, that's right.
He missed the cut is what he did.
Like what?
What
the hell? What?
I have no explanation.
It's just, I heard this on a podcast. Like, maybe next year he just needs to roll into his tee time. Like, just show up on Thursday morning.
Right. Don't talk. Don't do anything. Just show up.
Just go right into your tee time, buddy. I would not have bet like that. Shocked me. Like, I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, given how well he was coming into this,
oh my god,
this maybe was the best he's been playing coming into a Masters ever.
Yeah, and he should have just, Rahm is long, Brooks is long. Those, like, Rory's longer. Like, I thought he was going to dominate the golf course.
Yeah,
with it being wet, Rory won one of his majors in wet conditions, whatever, 15 years ago, and just blew away the field. And I was kind of like, if anything, the soft conditions would help Rory. He's just going to bomb it all over this golf course and be throwing wedges and 9-irons to all these greens.
And
the confidence that he was playing with, and for that to happen, like, that's gotta really
it really makes the whole, like, this might never happen opinion.
Oh yeah.
Like, truly never more feasible.
Yeah.
To come in playing as well as he was with the course condition. Again, Saturday was a nightmare. Like, no one's going to play well. I mean, but again, Rahm fought his way closer to Brooks when Brooks was already in the house and done. So Rahm figured out a way to do it and claw his way back and find some birdies out there. But it's just like that. I've never sort of been one of that opinion that it'll never happen. But, like, how can he come into this this tournament playing as well as he did, and like to miss a cut. Like, we're not just talking about him ending at like 5 under, you know, and not really being in contention. He missed the cut.
Missed the cut.
Tiger Woods figured out how to make the cut on half a leg.
Half a leg. Yeah, if that.
And he like looked horrible.
Yeah.
No feel for anything. Like, his feel for putting is gone. Like, and you came in with your Rory McIlroy with how you were playing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Getting back to some dominant golf, crushing the ball off the tee. His wedges have not been as terrible as they have been.
Right.
You know, he's got all the confidence in the world with this new blade putter. He's coming off of a year ago, final round 64.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was astonished and appalled all at the same time because shame on you, Rory.
It is kind of unbelievable.
Like, how you don't grind your way to make a cut. I don't know what to say.
I mean,
like,
I think,
and where does he go moving forward? Right. Like, does he spend this next year like just studying Augusta, or does he roll up next year?
You can't but that's not an excuse anymore. You've been to enough of these. Like, the course, course management and course knowledge cannot be an excuse. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you just flat out came out and shit the bed.
And think about, you think about all those years ago, that significant lead going into the back 9.
Yeah.
And, this would never, if he would have been able to work his way through that and hang on to win, this would not be any type of conversation. But now you're bringing up things like, is it ever going to happen? And he'll tell you that it's no big deal, but if that would be the case, that it would never happen, it absolutely would be a huge personal blemish on his
I thought it almost
career.
I thought it almost impossible that I would be in that camp. Honestly, I never was one who was like, he'll never do it here. It's like, nope, it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
but like,
because there's no reason
to miss the cut.
Yeah.
Like, that can't happen when you're that guy. It can't happen when you're Rory McIlroy. I don't know. I just think we're starting to realize that obviously when Rory has it all clicking, he's the absolute like apex. But he's not going to ever have the same like winning percentage as guys like Rahm and Scheffler, and like there might be a couple other guys who they don't have that huge, like, again, Scotty's putting was awful.
Yeah, that was
week.
Bad.
Like, okay, but that's like an anomaly. We've been talking about Rory's wedges for 9 years, it seems like.
Right. And Scotty, you're right. Putted like garbage, but finished top 10.
Yeah.
Found a way to get it done.
Right.
I mean, he finished -5.
Right.
I mean, seven strokes from the
But again, Rahm, like when his wedges or his short game is off, you're like, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But when Rory can't put anything within 10 feet, you're like, well, there's his wedges again.
Yeah. And boy,
there's
he hit some awful shots.
There's just these things that are just so weird that there's still an issue. Like, how have you not grinded this out yet? Like, you're too talented for this still to be an issue.
Yeah.
Crazy. Just crazy.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Scary. It's scary.
It is.
Because you're right. I didn't take it as far as you took it, but now that you said it, I'm like, that is a scary thought.
Yeah.
I think that it may never happen. for him. So
Yeah.
oh,
All right. Looking at the leaderboard, let's pick out someone else. I don't want to talk about Mickelson. I don't care.
I mean, it was.
Don't
I
care.
know. It was. Part of me still wants to be that fan. Like 52. The guy hasn't broken 80 in like 6 months.
Right. Even on a tour that doesn't matter.
Finishes T3? T2?
No, T2.
T2? 52. Like,
shoots 65, a final round 65.
Yeah, he's fist pumping and going around.
Can I tell you something? I didn't watch a single shot.
Really?
Not a single one.
I didn't until Sunday. First of all, you said you watched a lot on Masters.com, but I will tell you, and this is in no way a coincidence. This is strategic and planned. You didn't see those live guys hit hardly any shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw Dustin Johnson hit one wedge.
I think he was in a featured group, so I saw him hit a decent amount of stuff.
So broadcast wise, though, I didn't see these guys.
But main broadcast,
damn shot until Koepka was at the top. Even Reed was like on the first page of the leaderboard.
I know.
Not that I need to see him, but I think I saw him hit like 3 shots.
Yeah. I could
I know,
care less.
We don't have to dive into Phil, but
all right, let's talk about Brooks.
Okay.
Goes out 65-67, gets absolutely blessed with the afternoon, morning tee times. Literally is in the clubhouse as guys can't finish their second round, and they have to go out on Saturday when it's absolutely pissing and cold.
Miserable.
And finish their second round.
When it looks miserable on TV,
it's worse.
It's
that much worse if you're actually there.
Because there's times on TV you don't even know it's raining.
Yep.
But when it looks bad on TV, it's shit out on the golf course.
Yeah. So again, even with the 73 on Saturday, is still leading the tournament by 4 shots.
Oof.
Going into Sunday. Or going into the final round, because they did have to finish some of their third round on Sunday.
Right.
So going into the final round is 4 shots up and shoots a 75, 3 over, and just slowly bleeds it away. Again, no huge blow up holes, not one double bogey, not a single one. Just a bunch of bogeys.
Yeah.
And I think I really appreciated someone's take was how we talked about Rahm wasn't intimidated by Brooks. I don't think anybody care less.
Brooks.
And
right.
You
self-proclaimed
you saw a guy who, again, the third round was awful. Nobody shot that great, so you can't really take that into account. But a Sunday 75 in perfectly fine conditions.
Yeah.
And you got to go mano a mano against the best golfer on the planet.
Yeah, and Rahm knows he's better than Brooks.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Rahm knows he's better than him, and there's absolutely incentive for Rahm to be like, I'm not letting this live guy who plays for nothing come out and win the first major of the year. Rahm's just absolutely not. It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, when you look at it, 3 of the top 5 were live guys.
Yeah.
Mickelson, Koepka, and Reed all finished in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Rahm and Spieth were the only ones, PGA Tour players. Again, I think the Phil Mickelson thing is an absolute fluke.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see him tied for second in majors.
No, he's going to play well he's going to play well at Augusta for a long time.
Again,
shout out to Freddie, by the way, making the cut.
That's right. Yeah.
player to make the cut.
Reed, again, I didn't watch a single shot of Patrick
Yeah,
Reed.
yeah, he's still nobody cares.
But just to wrap up the Brooks thing, like, he's clearly healthy now.
Sure. Yep.
Like, it's clearly still in there. That dude didn't look beatable the first 2 days with how well he was playing. Like, just literally looked like he was going to cakewalk into this win. And you can't not account for the fact that he doesn't play competitive golf on the weekends. Like, it just doesn't happen. And I mean, maybe this changes in, a few majors from now. But like, I don't know, man. It's sort of crazy how good he looked the first 2 days. I don't think I expected any of the live guys to look that great. And he came out and just blitzed everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It makes me think that it's like, again, you'd have to take into account the Masters is a limited field. Like, there's a bunch of cuts. Like, you have to take that all into account when you see that 3 of the top 5 guys are live guys. Like, you have to take that into account. The U.S. Open has 145 people in it.
And, and these are all guys that won. I mean, aside from Brooks, they won on the golf course.
Yes, and
the
being at Augusta is
it's gettable.
Yes.
Like, are we going to be seeing these live guys at the top of the leaderboard at the U.S. Open,
right?
PGA,
right? Even the Open Championship, all those things.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Augusta is just a different.
Yes, that's absolutely true. So you got to sort of take that for what it is. I just think you saw a guy who stepped up against the truly best player in the world. And again, Brooks played great for 2 days. Looked unbeatable for 2 days. And we'll just have to see how the next one goes. But
yeah, I mean, Rahm, it's like those stories of like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Those guys would play other teammates, other NBA players one-on-one and spot them. Game to 11, I'll spot you 7 points.
Yeah,
and I'll still end up beating you.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Kind of like it's kind of the feeling you had with Rahm. Like, yeah, I'll spot you 4 shots.
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to beat you by 4.
Right.
I'll spot you 4 and then beat you by 4.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not scoring another point on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And, because it's Augusta, because it's Tiger, I feel like we should just do a quick.
Yep. We can jump to him real quick.
Recap. You think you said it earlier. Yeah. Unfortunately, he did not look good.
No.
He looked just.
I honestly don't think he should have played on Saturday. Like, why go out there in the cold and
because he
wet?
wanted, because he thought he could make the cut, and he shouldn't have. Like, he should have made the cut.
But I mean, as soon as he made the cut, go home.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's weird. Is it better or worse that according to his camp, it's the plantar in the foot?
It's not.
It's not the ankle. It's the plantar.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Like, that's a bunch of BS. Like, a story came out. Someone said at, what was it, the PGA? One of his screws came out of his skin.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's ankle is made of screws and metal beams. Like,
yeah.
Literally one of the guys on the No Laying Up podcast, who was a former military member and does a lot of charity work with like military veterans and amputee golfers and things like that, was like, Tiger would live a better life if they cut his leg off below the knee. He'd be in less pain. He'd still be able to play golf. He's like, I know a bunch of guys who have much worse and still go out there and play. Again, they're not playing on the PGA Tour, but he's like, he could still go out there with his son and play golf just fine.
Well, that's kind of what I think we talked about it briefly multiple episodes ago, but is that the ultimate plan? Like, I'm going to keep this leg. I'm going to see if I have any chance to win again. And then when it is time to retire and when I am done, I'm cutting this thing off because it's excruciating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he can cut his leg off and play on the PGA Tour.
He could probably play on the Champions Tour.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If he's not, if he's
gosh.
not walking, like if he can use a golf cart and.
Yeah. Boy, could you imagine, like, I'm going to cut this thing off.
I just like, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about this, but like to hear a guy like that say it.
Yeah.
And like, and you think about it, you're like, man, he's probably not wrong.
No, I feel like in some crazy capacity, that is the ultimate plan. Like, that's the end game. Like, and I think Tiger knows it. I think he knows that at some point that leg is coming off. I mean, he's gonna live for another, what is he, for another 40, 50 years on,
Yeah, with that kind of pain and like
with that kind of chronic pain and just I think in the long game, that is just at some point the plan.
Yeah. Or I think if it's not the plan, you need to stop playing professional golf until you hit 50 and can drive in a cart. And all you have to do is walk out, hit the golf shot, and get back in the cart.
Yeah.
Like, why bother? Just get as healthy as possible for your body.
Yeah.
Like, just do that. Take as much pressure off this thing as much. Like, you don't do this on a daily basis. You drive a golf cart around your club.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do this when you're playing with your son. Like, you have a cart. Like, you can still do all the things. You play with your son. You do what you got to do. You live your life. And if you want to truly play competitive golf again, you wait till the Champions Tour where you can have a golf cart.
Yeah.
Why do this? Like, why?
Yeah, he's not winning another major on the PGA
There's
Tour.
no reason for this.
And you think, like, okay, played at the Genesis, didn't look terrible.
Yeah.
But then you had the next, February, March, 2.5 months, 2 months to get ready for Augusta. And then he looked worse this year than he did last year.
Yeah. Like, nothing good happened to that man's body Friday into Saturday.
So
like, it only made it worse.
Yeah. I would be shocked if we see him at the next major, because you're like, why? For
right.
what?
For what reason?
What are you going?
Yeah. What is there to prove?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of sad to think about, but
Of course it is, but like,
it's sad to watch.
At some point, like, he's a person now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd rather, like, I don't really watch him play how he played this past tournament. Like,
I didn't watch him on Saturday. I didn't watch a single shot.
He has no feel.
Yeah.
The ball's just going anywhere and everywhere.
Yep. The putting's off.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And you're just waiting for something bad. You're just waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
It's listen, I think deep down, ultimately, this feeling is coming from the fact that, like, this injury was avoidable. Like, this was 1,000%. Like, the dude was addicted to pills,
Sure.
and might still be.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't
But
know.
he was
We gotta wait.
he clearly
We
had
gotta
a
wait for the
problem.
ex-girlfriend's book to come out.
He
before we know.
clearly had a problem and got behind the wheel of a car and almost died.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened. He was at a point where his back was fixed. Like, his back was fixed.
Yep.
He was going to be just fine.
And the fact that he went through all of this and we haven't heard anything about the back
Not a
bothering
thing.
him
Right.
means you're right. Means all that talk about the back before was, you're right. He was fine.
I mean, he
And-
got fine. Like, he had the surgeries. He did what he had to
Right.
do. Like, he wasn't fine all the time. He clearly had a back problem.
It's such an eerie thought because the day before he was at the Genesis and gave that horrific
Oh, my God.
interview where he was high as a kite
Yeah.
and then was due at a celebrity
No,
shoot.
he did that on the way
Yeah,
home
but
is when that happened. He went to that thing with like Dwayne Wade and all that.
Right. I think he had to go back the next
Oh,
morning.
yeah, right. Oh,
And
but
he
I
was
think
like,
I
he
think
was
it happened.
pissed
He
that
was he was at the golf course and then he was going from the golf course back somewhere. Who knows, hotel or house or whatever. Because I thought he was at the golf course like crazy early that morning. Like
he had to be there.
oh,
He
okay,
left the
maybe that
hotel
was
and
it.
had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
there
yeah. Okay.
early. And there's,
Yep.
he was pissed because he was running late. I'm like, dude, you're Tiger
No.
Woods. They'll wait for
Yeah,
you.
right. They're not shooting the video without you, buddy. Can you imagine directors like, run it without him?
Yeah. It's all on you, Dwayne.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
Yep. Can we get Gabrielle up here real quick to like fill the void?
So yeah, it's I'd be shocked, right, if we see him because it's just there's no point.
There's no reason at this point.
And you know who else we won't be seeing? Your boy Willie.
Yeah, that really sucks.
That's some scary stuff there.
For a guy that age,
Yep, that's
to
not
already
good.
be going through these kind of surgeries. Like this is what Tiger had. Like this is what Tiger had to get.
Yeah, 20 years
Yeah.
earlier.
Right.
That's not.
So again, maybe you call that better. Maybe he heals better, right? He heals more permanently. Who knows? But like back injuries usually aren't a thing that go away easily.
Yeah. Well, Freddie Couples has been dealing with back issues for 30 years.
And again, he's going to miss another Ryder Cup. Like we're not going to see Will Zalatoris on a Ryder Cup.
Yeah. And I think, alleviating some of the torque on his back, we're going to see he's probably going to have to go through some significant swing changes. And who knows where that takes his game.
Right.
Because now not only do you have all this recovery time from the back, but then you're coming back to then change your swing.
Yeah.
So that's
it's a shame.
Keep an eye on, for the next couple years.
Yeah.
Because it's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Anything else you want to wrap up with? I think we've covered a lot of it, but anything else that stuck out to you that you want to make sure we talk about?
We touched on Scheffler's putting. Jordan Spieth. He'll be a top.
He's just going to continue to do
20,
this. Like he's just going to
like,
backdoor into these things.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anyone else all that.
I mean, Cameron
notable.
Young kind of came out and played better than I think I expected.
Yeah.
A guy who, again, T2 at the Open, so the last major that was played, he tied, was in second place.
Yeah.
Came out, was a little bit shaky in the final round, but still top 10 at a major for a guy who, really nobody's really heard of.
Yeah. I saw, just the special invitee, Jason Day, was almost tied for the lead.
Yeah.
Chunked one into the water on day 2. And I don't know. Is anything else?
Nothing. I was
Anything else
just
jumping out?
no. I was just looking
mean-
down the leaderboard. I mean, Hovland has a great first day. Oh, backs it up with a 73, just like we would expect him to.
It's just, hey, you know,
Russell Henley.
other
Russell Henley for some reason gets T4.
almost the Danny Willett of
Yeah.
2020.
Seriously. Tagala comes out, shoots a 67 final round, puts him in a top 10 in a major. I think his first one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, again, tied with Fitzpatrick, Schauffele, Morikawa, like those three guys,
Yeah.
Scheffler,
And-
Fitzpatrick, Schauffele, Morikawa, all T10. Like,
Yeah. And the weather, not allowing the leaders to really push that lead to like, minus 15, 16, 17,
Yeah.
18. It brought so many guys back into the mix.
Oh, yeah.
Not to win the golf tournament, but to be,
yeah,
top 10.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, again, we kind of missed out on sort of the battle we were, kind of wanted.
It's
But-
it's like we've had two of those now. We thought we were going to get it at the match play, with Scheffler and Rory.
Yep.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to have this huge clash. Didn't happen. So
Yeah.
who knows? Next major's not that far away.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get another
Maybe. But
packed leaderboard.
again, it was It was a fantastic experience. Like we said, the viewing experience, like, literally can't be beat.
Did you see the numbers on that merchandise shop?
No.
That's the merchandise. Oh my gosh, they did like, it's some stupid number, like $70 million.
Yeah,
That
sounds about right.
It for the week.
Isn't that insane?
In merchandise,
Isn't that insane?
yeah.
Because you literally can't buy it any other time.
You can't get it anywhere
It's
else.
available for 4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
wild.
I think that big number is more impressive than the menu prices.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right, right.
What, you can get everything on the menu for like $66?
Yeah,
I would probably do that. I'd be like,
just
if
one
I
of
ever
everything.
get to Masters, and then just to the people walking by, like, here.
Yeah.
Here, I said, give me one of everything. I'll keep what I want.
Yeah,
And I'll hand the rest out. But
There
I'll
you
just
go.
Like, give me one of everything.
there you go. It is kind of amazing that beer's like $2.50, like at a sporting event.
Yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, I think that about does it for me.
Yeah. I just
They're
start
playing-
looking forward to next year.
Yeah, they're playing the Heritage right now. Nobody cares. Everyone's there just going through the motions.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's a designated event.
I know,
It's a
that's
big-
what I mean. But
What
it won't be next year. They can shift this stuff. You can't have this thing right after the Masters. Like,
No, you
nobody
can't.
is there playing hard.
Yeah, and it's a quirky, it's a kind of an interesting course to have a designated event at. I'll be curious to see who wins. I haven't watched any of it yet.
No, me neither.
I know Rory pulled out. He withdrew.
Yep. And they,
Um,
what is he gonna owe, like $3 million or something?
Yeah,
Isn't that hilarious?
yeah. Must be nice to be in a position where you're
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
There you
Chump
go.
change. Yep.
Yeah. Do you want it all at once?
Just
Do you want
just take it out of that checking account for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, don't even come to me about it.
Yeah,
There's-
right. You know my
go
people.
to my guy.
Yeah, you know
guy,
my yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
You have their number.
Yeah. So,
But if anything interesting happens, we'll be back next week to recap it. But again, an awesome week at Augusta. Our favorite tournament of the year. Happy we could jump on here and recap everything, some of the storylines for everybody. So we hope you all enjoyed. We hope you had a great, as much fun watching as we did. Again, I can't recommend this enough. Like, just go on the Masters YouTube page and just like pick a bunch of final rounds to go back and watch. It's the best. Like, just go
great.
back and pick, like, you could spend all day just watching Tiger win Masters. It's the best. So it's always
The
fun
best.
YouTube deep dive. So we will see you guys possibly next week. If not, we will definitely be back the week after that. But again, We hope you guys enjoy the show. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us or subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We are literally on all of them: Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, anywhere you get your podcast. Just search the Two-Way Miss. You will find us. You can search the Two-Way Miss podcast on YouTube, and you will find the B&B podcast page where every episode gets posted in video format. If you'd like to see, our beautiful faces as we talk through the podcast, make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Two-Way Miss. You can follow us on Instagram, also at B&B Podcast. You can follow Mr. Banks on Instagram at FairbanksC23. And you can follow me on Twitter at Big Regz with a Z. We hope you all have a great night. We hope that you get to play some golf in this nicer weather that's coming through here. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Have a good night, everyone.
Swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.